Hello everyone, welcome back to Get Your Play Online. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today to read a fun new book called Sofia Valdez, Future Prez. And this book is written by Andrea Beaty and illustrated by David Roberts. So here is the cover. Let's get started. Alrighty. Sofia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1. So here's Sofia in the garden helping her grandpa. She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek, who couldn't get out and about on their own, and with no place to gather, were stuck home alone. So there they are. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk. Sofia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sofia liked better. See, she is always out and about doing things. Oh, look at this page. Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophie to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw the squirrel. See, there's a squirrel up here, and the puppy saw the squirrel, and it went a little crazy. With a howl, Pup took off, racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sofia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing pup. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk for the local landfill. They reached the tip-top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. See, look at this pile of trash. Crazy. You see it? What's going to happen next? Do you know? What do you think? All right. Here's the next part. Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on a moldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. Ouch, cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. See, look, her Abuelo, he hurt his foot on the big, huge trash pile. What do you think's gonna happen? Oh my goodness, look at this pile. So here's Sofia standing in front of the massive, massive pile of trash. The next day, Sofia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her Abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sofia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. The very next morning, at dawn:30, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park. So Sofia, she had seen that her Abuelo, he got hurt on this trash pile, and that she thought there was something better that they could do with that space. Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play. Meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by a quarter till dark. See, here's all her neighbors, and they're helping her think about how they can build a park and all the plans they have for this park. So here's Sofia at home in bed. She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. Then bam! She woke up when a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sofia could build it alone, but how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache, as night thunder growled and she lay wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm and the gloomy sky wept, and the heartsick Sofia finally slept. So she's feeling overwhelmed because everyone's expecting that she's going to build a park all by herself. Abuelo baked cookies when Sophie got up. He gave her a bag full and sneaked one to Pup. The puppy got a cookie. He blinked back a tear as he hugged Sofia. For courage, he whispered, "Te amo, mi vida." Sofia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sofia Valdez went to face City Hall. So he's telling her that he loves her. So here goes Sofia. She's going to City Hall because she wants to build a park. And see these huge, huge buildings here? So she's going to the mayor's office. The mayor is in charge of the town, and so that is a good person to go to. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the office of duck ponds and cool things to do. To the office of monkeys. Wow, they have an office for everything here, don't they? Then to the department of cheese, the division of fountains and meetings and bees. Then down to the basement, so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did. "You can't build a new park. You're only a kid." See, so Sofia's really discouraged because other people believed in her and they thought she could do it. And then this lady here, somewhere near the mayor's office, she was saying, "No, Sofia, you're too young. You can't do it." The words smacked Sofia deep down in her heart. So see, here's the picture of the lady talking to Sofia. Her plan was kiboshed before it could start. "I think," said Sofia, "I think that law's wrong." But her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, "Clearly it cannot be done." "Do you have any questions?" Sofia said, "One. If you were me and if I was you and he was your grandpa, what would you do?" Well," said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought and she thought. Then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. So Sofia, because her grandpa had gotten hurt by that big pile of trash, she wanted to do something good and build a park. And so this lady, she didn't think that Sofia could do it because she was just a kid. But then when Sofia said, "What if it was your grandpa who got hurt?" it changed her mind a bit. And she thought, "You know what? I'll support Sofia." So here, got all these people here to listen to her. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak. But her words jumbled up and her cheeks turned bright red, as a dozen emotions rushed into her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sofia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of the old cookie sack. And that was the moment when Sofia first knew being brave means doing the thing you must do. Though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. She took a deep breath. She looked the mayor in the eye. So here's Sofia with all of her ideas. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sofia started talking. She spelled out her plan, and why it all mattered, and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts in the library, thoughts in the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. And, okay, so here, if you look at her plan, she's got all these great ideas. She wants rubber ducks and a rubber duck pond, a library for the monkeys. She wants baskets for the bees to live in. She wants a cheese fountain. That's pretty cool. Check out the cheese fountain. She wants a zoo library. So I think that's where you can rent an animal. So you can bring a llama home. And a kiosk for cheese so that you can go get some cheese. She's got a lot of cool ideas, doesn't she? All right, cried the mayor. Go start a petition. If the town wants a park, we'll go form a commission. And here they are, all with their signs about how they should build a park. So the mayor is on her side now. And so young Sofia got right to work, with some help from her family and pup, and the clerk. So this is the lady who works for the mayor's office, and she said, you know what, I will help you, Sofia. And look at all these people now. All these people who want to help Sofia build a park, and they made all these signs to get the attention of the government so that they would think, you know what, Sofia can do it. She can build a park. Then others joined in, not all, but a few, like Miss Lila Greer and the kids in grade 2. So some of her friends from class said, you know what, we are going to help her. So there were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes, and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park. That's how it got done, with the hard work of, by, and for everyone. But it began with the dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes and then led the way, to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now every evening till long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this truth to be self-evident, that Sofia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sofia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. So because of Sofia and all that she did to help make the park happen, people thought, you know what, Sofia could be president someday because of how hard she works and how much she cares for other people and taking care of her community. So now everyone can enjoy the park. All right, and that is the end of the story. And in the back, it just says, this book is dedicated to you. You are braver than you know and mightier than you can ever imagine. So be bold. All right. So, and it said, a note from the author is that Sofia Valdez was inspired by not one person, but by many people. Some small, some tall, some young, some old. People from every part of the world. Girls, boys, women, men. People who saw a problem and worked to fix it. Even when it was hard, even when it was scary. Some are famous, most are not. They took one small step and then took another, and they inspired other people. Through their journeys, they changed the world. And that is the end. So, as you have learned from this story, is that one person is actually capable of doing big things, and it's good to bring other people alongside you to help you too. But Sophia, she saw a need, and she saw there was this big trash pile, then they needed to do something about it. So she thought, you know what, let's build a park. And she put in the effort and she made it happen. And by doing that, she was helping not just herself, but her whole community because everybody could go enjoy the park together. So, thank you so much for reading Sofia Valdez, Future Prez with me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. So, until then, have a great night, and I will see you again. Bye!